How's it going, everyone? It is Andre Williams, and today we're going to be doing a video on CTRM. We already know there's a lot of volatility going down inside the market today, so there's many penny stocks who have felt the effect of this. But one of the things that we need to realize is what can we do in regards to taking advantage of the current conditions that we're in. So we've seen the levels of where CTRM has been pulling back at. So what I'm going to be doing a technical analysis showing you this, and then I'm also going to be sharing an article with you that shares a bearish and a bullish perspective on CTRM and what the potential of this stock actually looks like. The reason why I do this, I want to make sure you have an even-keeled approach when it comes to the stocks, whether you're invested or you're just going in for short-term trades. You have an idea of what you're getting into so you can minimize your losses and also minimize your risk as well. So we're going to get into those two portions in this video, and then I'll give you guys my final thoughts afterwards. All right, so we're now on Investor Place, and the reason why we're going to be going over this article, you guys know I love seeing a bullish and as well as a bearish perspective in a lot of stocks that we go over on the channel, which many of you are actually in. So let's go over this one right now. So Castor Maritime is attractive, yet it lacks operational strength. CTRM stock is gearing up to capitalize on a shipping opportunity, but the stock is too risky. So let's get into it. CTRM stock is fairly alluring. The company is a shipping operator that is aggressively growing its fleet. There is a logical, if speculative, economic argument underpinning an investment in shipping stocks. The company now has a fleet in excess of a dozen ships. CTRM stock is currently trading under $1 per share. Speculators have every reason to wonder if this is a potential jackpot. I would caution investors who are seriously considering establishing a position in CTRM stock to simply dismiss the Reddit Wall Street bets and Robinhood narratives. Whether Castor Maritime makes sense depends almost entirely upon the fundamentals behind the company and in the sector in which it operates. Expanding operations. Until recently, Castor Maritime exclusively operated dry bulk transport ships. However, the company recently expanded into tanker ships, so the company now operates in the dry bulk shipping and liquid tank services. Castor Maritime was incorporated in 2017. Since then, the company has steadily expanded its fleet. It will boast 14 ships once all of its current acquisitions are delivered. Therefore, Castor Maritime now has more capacity to seize what it believes to be an oncoming market opportunity. Sector opportunity. There is a reason to believe that the dry bulk sector may be entering a super cycle. According to Eurodrive CEO Asridis Pita, the sector has been 2-decade-long super cycles in the periods from 2000 to 2010 and 2010 to 2020. The former period was one of strength, Pita said. However, in 2010 to 2020, it was an extraordinarily bad decade. I'm not saying it's going to be like 2000 to 2010, but there's a huge difference between those two extremes. If we can just hover around median levels, we will see good profitability for most companies. Castor Maritime may then be able to make significant headway if the sector reaches medium strength. 12 of Castor Maritime's 14 ships operate in the dry bulk market. The company's 2 Aframax tankers are double-hulled oil tankers. Clearly, the company is looking to capitalize in the oil transport markets, as the 2 Aframax oil tankers are recent purchases. Let's assume, however, that dry bulk is the driving force catalyzing CTRM stock. Castor Maritime's operational health. Castor Maritime did manage to substantially increase its revenues from 2019 to 2020. Through the first 3 quarters of each year, revenues rose from $3.125 million to $8.102 million. In 2019, the company managed to squeeze $560,801 of profit from those $3.125 million of revenues. 2020 was very different. Castor Maritime recorded a loss of nearly $985,000 on $8.102 million of revenue. Vessel operating expenses were higher on an absolute basis, but not much higher as a percentage of revenues. Fleet utilization decreased from 99% to 89.6% during the period as well. It is difficult to pinpoint a single factor for why the company had a difficult year operationally. Of course, the pandemic is to blame, but that doesn't tell us much. To be honest, results indicate a mixed bag. While losses increased in 2020, loss per common share became much closer to break even. There's a reasonable argument that 2021 could be better. It is difficult to extrapolate what will happen after the pandemic from Castor Maritime's financial results. CTRM stock and the takeaway. I wouldn't jump into CTRM stock right now. There are signals that the company is in the right sector coming out of the pandemic, but there are likely much stronger dry bulk shipping stocks to pursue for exposure to that opportunity. So that's what I wanted to share with you guys. I just love reading a perspective from both sides. This is great in regards to guiding your trading and investment decisions. All right, so we're going to be doing a quick technical analysis for CTRM. So what you're looking at is a 5-day, 5-minute chart, but we have it spread it out all the way up until 7 days. So most recently we saw CTRM ended up being down 3.39% on the day, reaching lows over here, you can see over here at 77 cents and reaching a high all the way up here at you could see around 85 cents. So we could definitely see this is an area of resistance and an area that we need to get past. We were able to get past it in the pre-market, as you can see right over here. So one thing I'm looking for next week, if we have a bullish trend, especially in the market, would to see it get past this 85 cents level so it can get up to 86 and then reclaim past here at 87 and then make that move, getting up to at least around 88. And then seeing a move to 90 would definitely add some icing on the cake. When we take a look, going back to the last 7 trading days, we can see it was at a high of $1.01. So this is something definitely to be aware of. And it's another area to actually look out for, especially for an exit position or if you're doing a swing trade and so forth, taking into consideration its current price. So let's take a look at the 3-month 1-day chart. So the reason why we're taking a look at this chart, we want to get a more clearer picture of the trend that we're actually seeing. So we could definitely see that it's been on a run up and it's made some serious moves all the way over here from 21 cents in January, reaching a high up here to $1.95 in February, which is the 11th to be exact. If we take a look right here, we can see we have a clear area of resistance here at this $1.73 area, because like I said, that's a smaller candle, so it wasn't there that long. So as we take a look, we definitely knew that we had a correction that was going on. And when that was happening, we ended up seeing lows in CTRM right here at 65 cents. And automatically, that's a big time buying opportunity if you can catch it in that area where it literally touches on the 50-day SMA. Just taking a look, we also see this is also an area of support, as we could see right over here. So if you're ever able to catch it in these particular areas, especially for a swing opportunity, or maybe you might be looking at it long term and just seeing if they have the ability to actually grow and so forth, then these are areas to actually consider. If we take a look at the next area that's been tested, we see it's also been tested here at the 70 cents area as well, as you can see over here on March the 25th. So now currently where it's at 80 cents, we can see right here, is it going to consolidate and form some support here? That is something that we need to look forward to. If not, and it ends up pulling, then you definitely know that around these 70 areas is definitely not a bad opportunity. If we take a look here down at the RSI, it's right at 42. We already know that 50 is pretty much almost fair value. So at the end of it, you're still getting it a bit below fair value. Now, if we take a look at the upside potential, we need to take a look at what it needs to pass. So we definitely have some resistance that we need to get past here at 83 cents. Once we're able to get past this particular area, then we could definitely end up making a move to 85, 86. And once we get past that area, make that move to getting into the 90-cent area. So that's to kind of give you a ballpark figure as far as what you should be looking for as far as price action and the stock and so forth. So if you are looking at this as a swing or a trade opportunity, if you can get it in the 60s, that's great. Or if you get it in the low 70s and then making that move to $1, that's a great short-term trade to actually look at if you are considering. So for my final thoughts on CTRM, I still see some more room for this stock to move. The opportunities that we've seen that's been given to us during this pullback are definitely something to consider. So a good example, let's say for example, you got into CTRM when it was literally on the run up. it's a great opportunity to actually dollar cost average. So get your cost average down. The second thing is taking advantage of swing trade opportunities. Like I covered in the technical analysis portion of this video, when you can get in on those sharp pullbacks, it recovers very, very well. So an example, if it's pulling back to 65 cents, then you have an opportunity where you could sell also near the 80-cent range. And if you're buying a good amount of shares, you already know that 10 cents makes a huge difference. Again, this is for short-term or swing trade opportunities where you could trade off the volatility. Now, if you were thinking about CTRM long term and you have a price target in your mind, which is possible within a good time period, right, that is realistic, then you should not be concerned. And again, this is just another opportunity to dollar cost average your way in. I also got to give you guys a disclaimer. I'm not a financial advisor, and this isn't financial advice. So just know when you do invest, you're doing it at your own risk. To let you guys know very quickly what I've been doing with CTRM, I literally do swing trades off the support and resistance areas. Since I already know where they're at, I'm doing trades where, you know what, if I'm making 10 to 15 cents, I sell out at a profit. But like I said, I am buying thousands upon shares. So this is just a way to take advantage of what those levels are and what I discussed with you guys and how it could work for you. But of course, just make sure that you know you're doing it at your own risk and don't invest or don't trade with any money that you're afraid to lose. I'll be talking to you guys soon.